Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So I don't know if you guys saw this yesterday. I tweeted this out yesterday afternoon. So I did an interview with Dustin Plantholt, and he was interviewing me for the Bitcoin.com podcast. And the interview is finally up on podcast.bitcoin.com. Guys, I will link the article in the description if you want to listen to my Working Money channel interview. You can see I'm up here on bitcoin.podcast.com. They've also got interviews with the CEO of Travalia and the CEO of BitPay. I think it turned out all right. So if any of you guys are interested in listening to that, I will link it in the description for you. And so I got to thank Dustin once again for giving me the opportunity to be on the podcast. It was quite an experience. And guys, the economy, the Fed won't raise rates until 2025, apparently. This is an article posted from DJ Peter Vass here on Twitter. Let me just read you some of the highlighted points here. Here are some of the key facts. Last week, Fed Chair Jerome Powell announced that the Fed will now seek to target inflation that averages 2% over time. We read about that a few days ago, meaning that it can allow inflation to surpass the level during periods of economic recovery. The Fed hopes that the change will help boost the labor market by keeping rates lower for longer and thus providing additional support for the economy. Keeping rates at their current levels means that borrowing costs for both businesses and consumers will stay lower for longer. It will be cheaper for smaller businesses to get loans, for instance, and cheaper to buy a home with a mortgage. And researchers from Goldman Sachs found that an aggressive average inflation targeting policy would keep rates very low for a long period of time and would return inflation to its 2% baseline in about a decade. So there are no plans to raise rates anytime soon. Obviously, we are in a precarious situation. We have never seen, we've never lived through this. Our generation has never lived through, first, a pandemic, and second, effects to the economy that have come about because of the pandemic. And, since our world is so interconnected, economies are so interwoven, so much relies on so much else. And now we're faced with this. This is what the United States government is deciding to do. It's not looking pretty though, so, we'll keep our eye on it, see what happens. Guys, this is from Poochie at Poochie1967 on Twitter. I didn't mention it yesterday, but yes, yesterday was September 1st, and Ripple unlocked 1 billion XRP, as they do every month. So they recently unlocked their 1 billion XRP, worth about $280.658 million from an escrow account. This is always monitored by the whale alert. You guys can see those tweets breaking it up into two transactions of 500 million XRP each. Ripple owns more than half of the total supply, right? We know this. But why, guys? Why? Of course you got the XRP detractors saying, well, this is just suppressing the price. Or maybe not the XRP detractors, but, people within the community thinking, Ripple's selling too much XRP, unlocking too much XRP, it's flooding the market. It's not doing what we want with the price. But then you have the other point of view, the people who understand the utility, the people who get that the market needs to be liquid for the market to function properly, and organic supply and demand will naturally increase XRP price. Guys, I did a video on this yesterday. If you didn't catch that video, I will, here's the thumbnail for that video. I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner of this video. Ultimately, though, we need good liquidity in order for this market to succeed. And Ripple, has that planned escrow every single month. And, some of it gets returned if it's not being used. But ultimately, what this means in simple terms, the implication of this is more liquidity in the Ripple network, as more investors will now have access to XRP. XRP plays dual roles as a payment platform and a currency. It is an open source platform to create and allow quick and cheap transactions, which we all know. Gonna keep moving along, guys. Not gonna dwell on that too much. Dawdler for XRP sent me this next tweet, and this is interesting because, despite the fact that, the world wants to jump onto regulation, there are still going to be hiccups in the space. This happened in South Korea, and it was retweeted by Michael Arrington. Police raid South Korean crypto exchange Bitthumb. And so I believe this is one of the bigger exchanges in South Korea. Police in South Korea are reportedly searching the headquarters of Bitthumb, the nation's biggest crypto exchange per trading volume, as part of an investigation into fraud and embezzlement. Pernusis and Seoul Shinmun, officers from the Seoul Metropolitan Police Agency Intelligence Unit, raided Bithumb's central office in the Gangnam district of Seoul on the morning of September 2nd, seizing and confiscating data. The police are yet to issue a statement regarding the investigation, and police are reportedly still conducting their search at the time of writing. So what are they looking for? Both media outlets claim the investigation is related to the controversial BXA token issued by the Blockchain Exchange Alliance and a Singapore-based BXA consortium, and the failed takeover of the company by the Singapore-based South Korean firm that eventually defaulted on payment. Part of the consortium's deal to buy the firm involved the obligation to list the BXA token on the Bitthumb platform. The token has since seen its value plummet after rising from some $25.7 million USD in an initial coin offering, leaving investors in Seoul, South Korea, fuming. So it looks like it was a pump and dump scheme, an ICO. We're seeing less and less of these days, but I suppose they are still occurring. Somebody brought up a good point with the DeFi craze. We're seeing the same thing today within DeFi as we were back in 2017 with ICOs. The craze, the hype, the rhetoric around some of these coins is getting out of control, and this is why we're seeing coins like Chainlink, for example. I'm just using it as an example. I'm not picking on Chainlink, but this is why we're seeing coins like Chainlink pump really, really high, and who knows what's going to happen in the future if they will, retrace 95%, similar to many cryptocurrencies in the last bull run. But even worse, could they disappear altogether depending on how legitimate they are? Anyway, wanted to thank Dawdler4XRP for posting that. Guys, wow. This is sure taken a dive for the worst in the last couple of hours. This is Bitcoin on the hourly. I wanted to wait to get to this to talk to you a little bit about this, but it looks like we are retracing hard. So Bitcoin on the hourly right now trading at about 11,004, and XRP following the same kind of trend right now trading at 27.4. We were trading at 29.5 when I got up this morning. Originally took a look at the price, but see, this is the thing with crypto. Things can change on a dime. So on the hourly, the crypto market looking not so great now. XRP came down as low as 26.5. Right now trading at about 27.4. And let's go back to BTC for a minute there. Plummeting down to 11.4. So, are we going to erase all these gains that we saw over the last few days? Or are we going to rebound back up? Now, guys, when we put this on the daily, we were trying so hard, to kind of get over this level of resistance over here for Bitcoin, the 12.3. We managed to kind of hit it, and then we kind of retraced back down, and it looks as though, now that this arm is coming down, it looks as though this could be forming depending on how low we go, it could be forming a head and shoulders pattern. And just put a trend line up here. We basically need to get below that neckline. All right, let me just readjust that a little bit. We need to get below that neckline, and it's now, after this, it's not looking too promising. So like I said, with the crypto market, it can change on a dime. But guys, sometimes you got to zoom out. There's a lot of TA guys saying this lately, not just the ones in the XRP community. So this originally tweeted out from Green Eggs and Ham at Ham Eggs and Sam on Twitter, retweeting Pentoshi's charts, and I've talked about Pentoshi's XRP predictions in the past, where he looks at the XRP chart compared to Bitcoin. And yes, sure, this was a snapshot before this kind of thing occurred, but when we're looking at bigger gains and longer time frames, again, like I say, guys, if you're hodling long term, these kind of hourly movements don't really mean much in the grand scheme of things, because it's what matters is what's going on the larger time frames. And even if we zoom out even further, like on the weekly, for example, we still are in pretty good shape week to week. Okay, we're seeing bullish momentum, and we have seen bullish momentum. This is Bitcoin on the weekly since mid-March all the way until now, which is the beginning of September. So back to this, primed for a massive breakout, has reclaimed where its first bull run ever began on the BTC pair. So this is where we're at now. And I don't know if you guys can see this or if it's getting cut off. Maybe I'll move it in post-production so you guys can see this. Look at where we are. Look at where we were then. Okay, this was back in 2017, in the summer 2017. And this is where we are now. Again, guys, this is the XRP Bitcoin chart. So compared to Bitcoin, it looks like XRP is primed for a breakout. And he gives us a few other charts here, the XRP Tether USD charts, just demonstrating strong resistance for XRP after coming up after that breakout move. Now, I thought this was interesting because Nosferatu here at Da Crypto Keeper on Twitter brings up another good point. Now, I don't know if this is still the case after this significant correction, but what he was saying is that a golden cross is about to happen on the weekly time frame and that this is going to catch a lot of people by surprise. And over here, you guys can see the MA21 and the MA50 looking to cross over, and so that usually happens when we're about to see some bullish momentum. Gotta thank Pentoshi and Sam for tweeting out those threads. But the other interesting thing, guys, is this. So this from XRP Crypto Wolf. XRP monthly candles closed in green for 2 consecutive months in a row. And the last time that this happened was back in 2017, right before XRP skyrocketed from around 20 cents to over $3. So I'm extremely bullish on XRP finally having its bull run in 2020. Let's not forget, guys, and we got to go back to the chart for this. When you put this on the monthly, let's not forget, actually, let me put it on XRP. The Poloniex exchange has a lot more information. This is XRP on the monthly. The last 2 months, so July and August, both closed 2 consecutive green candlesticks. And if you look at this downtrend, guys, throughout all of 2018 and all of 2019, nowhere in there do you see 2 consecutive green candlesticks. This is the first time we've seen that since then. The last time we saw it was back in November 2017, December 2017, before this significant leg up. Okay, just to put things into perspective here, going to show you the low and the high of those 2 months. Okay, that was 1,835%. And then the last time we saw more than 2 green consecutive candlesticks was here, where we saw that first push up for XRP back in the spring of 2017. And there was 4 consecutive green monthly candlesticks in a row, demonstrating from low to high an increase of about 9,900%, 9,933%. So, could we be in for another burst? Now, of course, you guys are probably looking at the chart on the hourly and you're thinking to yourself, but look at that trend. Look how bearish that is. I have no faith. Think bigger picture, especially if you're hodling for the long term. If you're hodling for the long term, none of this matters. This is all noise in the short term. Want to keep moving along though. This from Ronald at RonaldOnline777. The XRP community response to Flare is on. So now the numbers have been updated. 900 million XRP and 15,035 XRP accounts have already been set up to claim Spark tokens from the Flare networks. 60 million XRP now in holdings increased, and 3,091 new XRP accounts have been created. And so for that data below, he links a screen grab here, guys. If you want to claim your Spark token and you have the Ledger Nano, you can follow my video. I do a demonstration on how to claim your Spark tokens on the Flare network. If you have a Ledger Nano specifically, some people asking me if it works with the S and X. Don't quote me on this, but some people have said that they have been able to do it with the X. So I know for sure it works with the S, and some people in the community have also confirmed that it does work with the X. So I will link that video up here in the top right-hand corner if you still haven't done that. But this is huge, guys. These numbers are growing by the day. I'm curious to know at the end of the day what those numbers are going to be. Gonna keep moving along, though. This from the Cryptic Poet. H&M Head of Sustainability praises VeChain's traceability solution. So this in VeChain news, in an interview with Forbes, Anna Guetta, the head of sustainability of H&M Group, set out the vision for the H&M Group and revealed more details about the role VeChain will play in creating post-pandemic fashion. Guetta emphasized how quickly they have had to adapt to overcome the crisis and how blockchain technology has been the key. According to Guetta, the H&M Group faced a global problem when 80% of its 5,000 stores were closed. This led to a 50% reduction in sales, according to the company's second quarter report. Therefore, the problem H&M faced was complex and affected the health of its employees, the company's profits, and the supply chain. Here's a quote. Because of the demand slump, we had to figure out how to mitigate those effects, working with our suppliers to ensure that they are able to fill orders and get paid while we cut our losses where possible. The impact of the crisis has really been felt throughout the company. Luckily, we are seeing things improving slowly as stores reopen and more people go back to some kind of a new normal. So what's VeChain's role, guys? And this is where I get excited because, you know, these companies are problem solvers. solving. Not only are they making industry more efficient, we as early investors are going to get rich off our investments for this very thing. There's going to be a demand for this in the future. Got to emphasize that the world after the pandemic will be different. The figures referred to above shows that all industry players were impacted. In that sense, the digital phase of the industry has been and will continue to accelerate. On the changes that the industry will go through, here's what she said. There's a lot of talk about environmental sustainability as well as economic recovery efforts, including job creation. We can see that we really need to transition to a more resilient, diverse business model, a much more circular business model than we have today. So H&M Group's vision is a fashion industry with sustainable products that are accessible for many. In addition, H&M wants to be a source of jobs and income. In this sense, the company will work with VeChain to increase its transparency. To this end, they will provide users with access of information that tells them when, where, and how a product was made. In this way, consumers will be able to verify that the supply chain is environmentally friendly. So they're using this as a, I suppose, as a bit of a consumer awareness protocol, as well as a tool to streamline their process. You got to think to yourself, when you have 5,000 stores around the world, you are not a small company. And so to streamline your orders, your products, your employees, all that stuff, if you can get it organized with blockchain technology like the VeChain solution, you will be in a better place as a company once this economy picks back up again. And guys, this is why these blockchain solutions that are solving problems, especially post-pandemic, are going to be huge money makers in the future. So guys, invest in something that solves a problem and you won't be sorry. Gonna keep moving along though. This from Mac Attack XRP. So Ripple partner joins forces with streaming giant Spotify, and this has to do with dLocal. So longtime Ripple partner dLocal has announced its collaboration with streaming juggernaut Spotify to make it easier for the latter to expand its base of premium subscribers in Latin America. dLocal's Alejandro Esperanza claims that they will help Spotify realize its full potential in that region. Success hinges, and here's a quote, guys, success hinges on the ability to understand each market and how their consumers prefer to pay for the goods and services they enjoy. This partnership will underscore our commitment to helping the world's biggest companies like Spotify realize the full potential these markets offer. So quality music for the unbanked. Here's a chart down here. Latin America is one of Spotify's fastest growing markets that now accounts for 21% of the company's total paid users. In North America, just a little bit above that at 29%, and Europe 39%, making up the bulk share of that. Yet roughly 70% of its population remains unbanked, which makes it cumbersome for Spotify to pay for premium subscriptions. And so this is where dLocal comes into the mix, a Ripple partner helping bank the unbanked so that they can join the world economy. Moving money is one of those things that will never cease to exist. Bartering, trading, financial transactions. Since humans have inhabited this planet, there's always been a need for bartering, trading, economic, financial transactions among two parties. And so this is just making it easier for a global economy, for people in these unbanked regions to be able to enjoy some of the little perks like Spotify music. So really, really great to see that Ripple partner dLocal is jumping on board with that. I saw this one too, guys. This from Michael at Val5 Links. According to the Japan Times article, shares of SoftBank Corp., this is a key Ripple partner in Japan, by the way, have spiked on the news of SoftBank's mobile phone unit to be added to the Nikkei 225. So here's the article to that, the blue chip stock index to accept SoftBank's unit, and this is happening, guys, next month on October 1st. The share price of SoftBank has risen 2.5% on the news that the company's mobile phone unit will be added to the 225 issue Nikkei average, replacing Nippon Kayaku Co., a chemicals production giant. Its equity price dropped 12%, the biggest decline since May 2016. The shift in the content of the index will take effect on October 1st. It is part of an annual review of the index, and analysts consider the choice rather surprising. The parent company, SoftBank Group, is already part of the Nikkei index and is one of the biggest members. Analysts found it unusual that this aspect was not taken into account by authorities in charge of the listing. However, other companies that were considered as additions to the Nikkei 225 have seen their shares plummet. Kakaku.com has seen a 5.5% decline, and Zozo Inc.'s shares fell 4.8%. So rejigging the Nikkei 225 a bit, and SoftBank, a Ripple partner, is now listed on that. And I don't know how long some of you guys have been in the space. Probably long enough to know that there is a bear in the space, and that many people try to impersonate Bearableguy, trying to, I suppose, maybe troll the XRP community, or maybe just get, attention for themselves. I want to reiterate, guys, there is only one Bearableguy. Whether you like him or you hate him, he has dropped hints in the past. The infamous 589 prediction that he made back in, I believe it was February 2018. If you guys have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, I will link a video I did on it up here in the top right-hand corner. But for those of you guys who are well versed in the Bearable Guy universe, we all know there are only 2 Bearable Guy Twitter profiles that he posts on. And he also has the Rippled Reddit, RIPPLED. But I noticed something interesting. When you actually click this tiny URL here in his profile, he uploaded this, and this was only from 2 days ago, so this is brand new. It's kind of I guess an updated disclaimer. He's had to post these disclaimers in the past because other people have been trying to impersonate him. Beware of imposters and anyone who claims to be friends with the bear that the bear has never liked, tweeted, followed, or communicated with on Twitter. Bearableguy123 is only one bear, not 2, not 3, and only posts on Twitter and r/rippled, that is the Reddit website. The bear does not have a webpage called Bearableguy123.com, nor posts on YouTube, with the only exception being a humorous breadcrumb video every once in a while. So his Reddit is Bearableguy123, and his Twitter handles both at Bearableguy123 and the reverse at 321 Ugel Bearab, which is Bearableguy123 backwards. And so again, this was just from 2 days ago. I suppose that there are imposters in the community that are trying to, maybe ride on the coattails of Bearable Guy a little bit. So there was this Bearable Guy official channel, which is clearly a fake. The person running this hasn't uploaded on this channel for over a year now. Nevertheless, that is not an official channel. Bearable Guy only uses these 2 Twitter profiles, and of course the Rippled Reddit, which I will open right here. Okay, and the last time he posted was 4 months ago, guys, with this image here. This was the last Bearable Guy clue that we saw coming out of the darkness and into the light. That's right, ships to shore. We don't have a long way to go now. And just to reiterate, guys, this from XRP Crypto Wolf on Twitter. We're so early to crypto that these gains we are making right now are nothing compared to the gains we will all make in the future once cryptocurrency is mainstream worldwide with real world utility. The world is being digitized, so don't get left behind by not taking a chance. Remember, guys, only invest as much as you can afford to lose. But on that note, I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.